Imagine a treasure buried deep beneath your feet, a treasure so vast it could build schools, hospitals, and a future for an entire nation. In 1901, a British adventurer named William Darcy signed a deal with a desperate Persian Shah. For just £20,000, he bought the right to search for oil across nearly the entire country. At the time, nobody knew if there was a single drop of oil in the Iranian desert. It was a gamble that would change the course of human history. For 7 long years, they found nothing. Darcy was nearly bankrupt, ready to give up. But then, in 1908, a massive gusher hit the sky in Masjid-e-Sulaiman. They had found it, the largest oil field in the world at the time. Suddenly, the British government realized this oil wasn't just money, it was the lifeblood of the Royal Navy. Winston Churchill himself saw that without Iranian oil, the British Empire would lose its power at sea. The British built Abadan, the largest refinery on Earth. But it was a city of 2 worlds. In the British Quarter, life looked like London, luxury villas, swimming pools, and tennis courts. In the Iranian Quarter, there was filth, disease, and poverty. Iranian workers weren't allowed into British parks. They were treated like second-class citizens on their own soil. By the 1940s, the injustice was screaming. The British government was taking more in taxes from the oil company than they were paying to the entire nation of Iran for its resources. The people were working for pennies while their oil built the skyscrapers of London. The frustration turned into a national roar. The people wanted their dignity back. Then came Mohammad Mossadegh. He was a man of principle, an aristocrat who fought for the poor. In 1951, he led the parliament to a historic vote, the nationalization of oil. The news hit the world like a lightning bolt. From this day on, Mossadegh declared, the oil belongs to the people. The British flag was torn down from the refineries, and for a brief moment, Iran felt truly free. But the British Empire would not go quietly. Winston Churchill launched a global boycott. British warships surrounded the coast, ensuring not a single drop of Iranian oil could be sold. The economy began to collapse, but Mossadegh stood firm. He went to the United Nations, telling the world, "We would rather be free and hungry than slaves and fed." The British knew they couldn't win alone, so they called the Americans. They whispered to the CIA, "Mossadegh is a communist." It was a lie. But in the heat of the Cold War, it worked. The CIA sent agents with suitcases full of cash to Tehran. They bought the press, hired street mobs to start riots, and paid generals to betray their leader. On August 19, 1953, the tanks rolled into Tehran. The coup was a success. Mossadegh was arrested, and the oil returned to Western control. But the cost was the soul of a nation. This betrayal destroyed Iran's hope for democracy and planted the seeds for a much darker future. For a few billion barrels of oil, the West traded away its morality. The shadow of 1953 led directly to the revolution of 1979. When the oil was finally reclaimed by Iran for the second time, it came with a deep hatred for the West. Today, Iran owns its resources, but the world is still feeling the aftershocks of that original sin. Was it worth it? Was the oil worth the price of a nation's freedom? You might think this is just a story, a script from a spy movie. But in the shadows of history, there are no heroes, only interests. Because the truth is often stranger than fiction. But is this the only truth?